So this is the 6th kiosk station in the Wild Willy's Adventure Zone Tyrannosaurus experience, and I don't have any visual aid here on this front initial slide yet. I'm going to pull some animation from the animated backdrop, or some models at least, and reconnoiter them to make a video loop. Here, this will be, like I said, the 6th station. It will be positioned right in front of the Edmontosaurus, which is getting chased toward an ambush. Well, that is the intent anyway. And this will also be the last kiosk people come to before going outdoors to the much larger outdoor section of the Tyrannosaurus experience here. So there's a slide that kind of explains how this touchscreen experience transitions over to the handheld device experience. So if people bring their own phone, iPad, tablet, it may even work on Nintendo DS. I'm not, any internet capable device will be able to access the apps outside. And there's a slide in this to explain this. So to set the scene, the copy on the left will start with this young Tyrannosaurus is finally big enough to start making a contribution to the family unit's hunting efforts. Ambushing a herd and cutting a manageable meal from it is easier for a group of predators than for an individual. Driving prey into an ambush takes coordination and specialization. Specific tasks fall to tyrannosaurs of different sizes. This small T-Rex is supposed to divert prey from crossing the river and escaping, but it just was not big enough to get the attention of this big Edmontosaurus. And the next slide, we've got a big bone map over here of a partially articulated but mostly disarticulated theropod skeleton. And the copy on the left says paleontologists study the positions dinosaur skeletons are found in to learn about how they were buried. If the bones are buried in the relative positions they were when that dinosaur was alive, the skeleton is considered to be articulated. This is rare to find, but when we do, that tells us the dinosaur was buried relatively soon after dying. When bones are disarticulated, we know that the skeleton was exposed for a while before being finally buried, like in the map here. And then burial and preservation. Here we're going to have an animated series of stills, slideshow that depicts a bunch of various animals, herds of various animals crossing rivers, some of them to their demise. As you can see, the wildebeests here, as they're almost cliched, depicted as epically failing at river crossings, but that'll be part of the slideshow. So the copy on the left here says sometimes catastrophic events like poorly executed river crossings, flash floods, sandstorms, or volcanic eruptions can lead to huge burial grounds filled with dinosaur skeletons. These mass mortality sites are often monospecific, meaning a number of individuals representing a single species are found together. These localities can provide insight into the structure of dinosaur herds and family units, and we can compare these findings to how animals socially organize today. And finally, a little instruction before going outside. We can see that outside, the copy on the left here says, you will find signs instead of touchscreens, but your mobile device will become your touchscreen. Use the QR codes or enter the web addresses into your browser to access digital exhibit content on your phone, tablet, or other device with wireless internet access. This web address, I checked it doesn't currently exist. I do need to get a page set up here soon so I can start developing and testing online these web apps for the, I believe, 10 or 12 stations outside. We may be adding some more for the camp space, but the signage will all have, each sign will have a QR code as well as the URL for those with primitive phones that, or just don't know how to use the QR code, can just punch in on their browser the URL there, and they will go to a specific web address for each specific station outside, which will be associated with kind of a different dinosaur scene. And that concludes these.